and welcome to CERAWeek 2024. I'm Carolyn Cito with S&P Global Commodity Insights, and I'm joined with Rob Shapiro of Microsoft. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here, and we're going to have a quick discussion about the intersection of Microsoft and the content that's here at CERAWeek. So, one of the big themes at CERAWeek is the energy transition. But we're also hearing a lot about inclusion and equity. How do these two go forward?
Yeah, so if I start with the energy transition, this is something that's really important to Microsoft for a number of reasons. First of all, we've committed to being carbon negative. And so without the energy transition and it happening at pace, we're not going to be able to achieve our internal goals. So it's really important for us. It's also really important for our customers who are also trying to achieve their goals, and we're trying to help them with that. But we also realize that climate change is disproportionately affecting communities of color, and it's really important that this energy transition is an equitable energy transition. And to do that, we need to bring diverse voices and diverse thought to the problems that we're seeing in the climate and sustainability space. And so this is where these two things come together, and I really love how at CERAWeek you call it a multi-dimensional energy transition, because equity is one of those dimensions.
And so what are you doing at Microsoft to ensure this equitable transition?
Yeah, so we're a huge company, and so we have a lot of amazing people doing a lot of amazing things in this space. So I can't possibly talk about all the things, but just as an example, there was an announcement just this morning that I saw where we're working with EDP Renewables and Volt Energy on environmental justice, and so I see those things coming up every day. But what I can do is talk about some of the things that we're doing here in Houston around equitable energy transition. So what we see, and I see personally, I work with a lot of startup accelerators here locally, and I see a lot of amazing founders. But what I don't see is a lot of diversity in those founders that are in the climate space. And one of the big problems is around funding. So less than 1.5% of North American venture funding is going to Black and Latino founders. Less than 2% of that funding is going to women founders. And so we've got a real problem in that space, and we need to really work on that. The good news is there are programs and organizations that are working on this. And an example would be Browning the Green Space is partnered with Greentown Labs to create a program that they call ACCEL. And Microsoft's really proud to be a sponsor of this ACCEL program. It's a year-long program where they bring in a group of startups with underrepresented founders, and they work with them on training, on mentoring, and on connecting them with sources of funding. And we've worked with our Climate Innovation Fund at Microsoft to help bring funding to the program, but also to bring expertise and mentoring and guidance to these terrific companies.
So what kind of things are these companies that are working with these external accelerators that you guys are supporting?
Yeah, so they're doing a lot of things in clean tech and in sustainability, and actually you can see them here at CERAWeek. We've actually been really excited to invite 9 companies, 9 startups with underrepresented founders to join us at CERAWeek, and they're presenting in our Agora House, at the Microsoft Agora House. And I'll give you a couple examples. So two of those companies that are here were in the ACCEL program last year. One of the founders, Chidalo Onyenso, she's the founder of a company called Earthbond, and they're bringing reliable, clean, and affordable energy to Nigerians. Another of the founders that's here is Jonna Porter. She's got a company that's called Fractal, and they work to bring bio-based polymers to the construction industry. So we've got companies that are doing all sorts of things in these fields, all kinds of amazing things. And we're really excited about the next cohort for the ACCEL program, which started 2 weeks ago. There's 7 companies in that cohort, and my hope is that we'll see them all here at CERAWeek next year.
So I want to key in on that small percentage of startups led by underrepresented groups. Is it just a question of you just don't have enough of that pipeline starting those companies? And is there a way that we can expand that pipeline, or they're just not making that choice? There are the STEM graduates, but not making the choice.
I think aside from the funding issues that we see, there are plenty of great founders out there that are women or people of color, but But yes, I think there's also a pipeline aspect to it too, because we need to see more women in STEM. We need to see more underrepresented groups in the STEM sciences, in the sciences, technology fields, and so this is part of what we focus on at Microsoft. We think we have to start early, and so we're in Houston. We're involved in programs working with girls as young as middle school, high school programs, and also some college programs where we're working in underserved communities to try and help. A great example, we work with an organization called Supergirl Shine Foundation. And this is an organization run by an amazing woman named Loretta Gurnell Williams. She was an educator, and she realized that she needed to do more to bring more women to STEM. And so her organization focuses on the middle and high school girls, matching them up with mentors, and going through some training and really bringing up their skill sets. These are girls who are naturally interested in STEM, but they just don't know what to do with it. They don't have any examples, and a lot of it, and I think you and I were talking earlier about this, is not having a role model, not seeing someone that looks like you, that's in those fields. And so this program provides that. These mentors are people that look like the girls, and it really inspires them. My boss at Microsoft, Darryl Willis, often talks about how when he was in his early days, he saw a black geologist, a black geophysicist, and that was one of the things that inspired him to think, wow, this is something I can do, because he saw someone that looked like him doing it. So, I wanted to mention one thing that was really cool with the Supergirls. We had an event where the director of the Johnson Space Center at NASA came, Vanessa Weish. And if you don't know, Vanessa Weish is the first African-American man or woman to run the Johnson Space Center. So the girls got to meet her and interact with her, and it was amazing for them. But I'll be honest, I was pretty starstruck myself just being around her.
So that is great that it's not just at the startup stage that you're supporting those innovations that are going to be needed for the energy transition, but you're also supporting that human capital that goes into building those innovations. And you're taking it at a local scale as well, because the energy transition, it's so multidimensional.
Right.
Local is definitely one of the challenges to meeting that, and the solutions and the challenges are different at different locations. So Thank you so much for sharing your insights. This has been a great conversation, and thank you for joining us at Zero Week 2024.
Thank you.